This video is brought to you by Miniature Market. Thousands of board games, miniatures, and paints, discount prices at miniaturemarket.com. Hello everybody, welcome to, well, it's just another one of my thoughts. Recently I just saw Shadows of Brimstone come out with Shadows of Brimstone Adventures. And I said to myself, oh my god, finally, a traditional dungeon crawl. But that made me think a little bit. A traditional dungeon crawl? Now, there are so many dungeon crawls out there, and I always find that I'm wanting more. Either I'm wanting more, I haven't found that dungeon crawl that has really hit home with me since Warhammer Quest. Now, Warhammer Quest is one of my all-time favorites, but I never felt it's enough. It's out of print. There's no more stories. You could develop your own stories, but I wanted more tiles. I wanted more this. And then when they re-released it, it wasn't the same. It wasn't what I was looking for. Now, the question I have for everybody out in the audience is, what do you consider an underrated dungeon crawl? Now, for me, one of the ones that I find that is extremely underrated, but I find a lot of holes in it, and that is Dungeon Saga. Dungeon Saga brings me back, and this is another one where they're not going to be making too many more models and stuff for it. There's plenty of venture to it, but when I think of a dungeon crawl, what do you think as a true dungeon crawl? For me, it's having a wizard, an archer, an elf, basically, a dwarf, and a barbarian. And for me, that's your down home, just dungeon crawl. It's something that you're just going to put out onto the table and just have that old. I think I'm always looking for that Pool of Radiance feel, and I think a lot of you know what I'm talking about. That Bard's Tale feel, those old school D&D originals. Now, you could play D&D, I understand, but I'm talking about giving me something in a box set and a bunch of expansions that'll go with it. Does Massive Darkness count as something that you would consider something that's close to that? I don't think so. I don't think there's enough to it. We can also talk about the D&D small boxes, and you can combine those together, but I just don't think the story's rich enough for me. Do you need a big story? Do you almost wish you had modules, pretty much like the D&D games, that they would release a huge set and maybe a couple more tiles, a couple more figures, and then a module or something for each and every set? Does Descent do it for you? No, I think that's a race against time more than it is a pure dungeon crawl where you are just leveling up your guys and you're invested into your characters. I'm really anxious to hear what you guys have to say in this subject, because this has sparked a lot of things for me. What do you consider an underrated dungeon crawl? Now, I've received a couple of emails and a couple of comments about this Darklight game. Now, I don't know anything about it, but it's overseas and I can't get my hands on it, and I really would like to, because I would love to review it. And it's supposed to be a lot like Warhammer Quest, but it seems to be darker. When I really loved Shadows of Brimstone, that was everything to me that I could want in it. There was constantly stuff. As a matter of fact, there was almost too much stuff. But the thing was, the old West thing was good, but I just couldn't wrap myself around that as a true dungeon crawl. You look at Madara, something new that's come out. That's a Japanese role-playing thing, so you don't have that traditional feel. It's almost like there's something missing, and you keep on waiting for that one thing to come home and really hit it home. Or maybe I just haven't played it in all the stuff that I have here. Gloomhaven, very good, but again, you know, I'm looking to lay out those tiles, and you know, where I can have somebody come over, randomize something greatly, and that's where I think Dungeon Saga has it, but I always feel there's something missing there, and I wonder if that's a feeling with a lot of you out there. I mean, as far as a game in a box, you know, I mean, you could play D&D all day long and get that feel, but I want to be able to pick everything up and put it into a box and have a nice thick rule book with some randomization or cards that randomize things. And you know, I keep on looking for that one true dungeon crawl in a box that is going to hook me for life, and that I'm never going to want to play anything else, or I'll have that satisfaction where I say, yeah, that's what I've been looking for so long. So I wonder if this is something that you guys go through, and something that you guys feel. Super Dungeon Explorer, another one. It becomes a arcade type of game. I really liked that. You know, you think of Arcadia Quest, wonderful. The chibis, you know, you have that Japanese feel again, and that kind of takes you away from what you're looking for, but it's more of a PvP type of game, and it kind of doesn't fit that exact mold. I mean, I'm talking working through something to get to that dragon, to get to that beholder, to get to that, you know, those different types of things where you feel like you've been through an adventure with traps and all kinds of things. Swords and Sorcery, fantastic story. You know, you look for a good story and good background with it. And, you know, maybe I just ask too much, or I expect too much. And that's something I wonder too. So I would love to see your feedback, your comments on this, you know, and put this out, you know. I just can't wait to see what they do with Shadows of Brimstone Ventures. It really looks fantastic, and all you know, and what else people are coming out with. Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe you guys can point something out and point me in the right direction. I want to have that satisfaction. I want to have that old school feel, and I want to feel like I'm going down and my party doesn't know what we're going into, but there's a rich story and a rich experience behind it. So, without further ado, let me know what you feel in the comments right below here, and I really look forward to what you guys think. So until next time, it is your old pal Rob saying, we will see you soon.